We're going to continue solving exponential equations with logs. Remember, our first step is we need to get the base number by itself. In this case, our base number is 6. So in order to get the 6 by itself, we're going to add the 2. So we have 6 to the x is equal to 14. And what we need to do is we need to get the x by itself, so we need to get rid of the 6. How we get rid of the 6 is we're going to take the log of base 6. The reason that we take the log of base 6 is what we're going to do is we need to get rid of this. Whenever we have base numbers that are the same, it always becomes 1 because of power property. We move the x to the front. When this becomes 1, 1 times x is x, and that's how we get the x by itself. Now, whatever we do on one side of the equation, we have to do the same thing on the other, so we have to take the log base 6 on the other side. Meaning that when we use change of base formula, we have log of 14 divided by log of 6. Now, just as a reminder, change of base formula I have right up here. Log base b of a is equal to the log of a divided by the log of b. And that's what change of base formula is. What we're going to do is we're going to use our calculator. So we take our calculator out, we find the log of 14 divided by the log of 6, and that gives us 1.47. So looking at letter E, same process. We need to get the base number by itself. So we're going to subtract the 4, since that's a positive 4. When we subtract the 4, what we end up with is a negative 6. Now, because we have a negative 3 and a negative 6, we're going to divide it by a negative 1, meaning that both of those are positive. We need to get the 3 by itself, so in order to get rid of it, we are going to do the log base 3 on both sides of the equation. Now, when we do that, once again, those right there become 1. Once they become 1, we get the negative x by itself. Change of base formula tells us that's log of 6 divided by log of 3. When we plug it into our calculator, what we end up with is 1.63. But that is not our answer, because if you're looking, that is what negative x equals. So if negative x equals 1.63, then that means positive x would have to equal negative 1.63. Our last example, same process as before. We've got a couple more steps. First step is, of course, we isolate the base number. But in order to do that, we're first going to subtract the 9. When we subtract the 9, what we end up with is 14. We're going to divide it by 2. When we divide by 2, the 1/4 is equal to 7. Now what we need to do is we need to get rid of the 1/4. So we're going to do the log base 1/4 on both sides of the equation. Once again, this right here becomes 1. So our exponent is now by itself. X minus 2 is equal to, change of base formula, log of 7 divided by log of 1/4. Log of 7 divided by log of 1/4 is negative 1.40. But we're not done. If you're looking closely, you notice that this is x minus 2. So we need to add 2 on both sides. And when we add that 2, that means our x is equal to 0.60. And that right there is our final answer.